Hey everybody, it's me, Myra, at Down Home Money, a simple approach to financial freedom. It's Tuesday, it's my day, and I'm excited to be with you today because we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. And I'm excited to talk about AT&T. So a lot of y'all know that I have been extremely bullish about AT&T. And I have, a lot of you know my story. I decided that I wanted to have a dividend portfolio because I've been in the rental business for years, for over 30 years. And it has been wonderful. Let me first say that I was able to retire at 33 because of buying rental property. And my husband and I, we had 10 properties that threw us off $5,000 a month net for our family. And so it allowed both of us, my husband quit the police department and I quit my hair salon. I sold it. And it gave us freedom. But what I found with rental property, and there's a lot of people out there looking for rental property, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just want you to really understand the difference in passive income and active income and working income. And I really feel like that real estate is a working income if you manage your own properties. Whether you do it on Airbnb or however you do it, or you have long-term tenants, you still have to be involved. You've got to take the calls, you've got to fix the things that they require fixing, you've got to collect the rent, which is my favorite thing every month, and so it does require your time. So I decided that I was going to sell a few of our properties because we all know the real estate market is absolutely through the roof. And if you're debating on keeping properties or selling, now is the time to sell and take your profits. So with that said, I sold a condo that I bought in Panama City Beach, Florida in 2014, and I'll put the video here for you. And I sold that condo and decided to invest it in stocks and to build a portfolio to throw me off a passive income stream through dividends. So if you don't know what dividends are and you're new to our channel, let me just share a little bit with you. So companies pay dividends. Some companies, not all companies, some companies pay dividends from their profits, from their cash flow. And so with that, I receive dividends from different companies. You can get your dividend. How they pay their dividends is that you decide, okay? So first you've got to open a brokerage account. So let me say that. Open you a brokerage account, whether it be Webull, Robinhood, Vanguard, Fidelity, E-Trade, whatever you want to do, open you a brokerage account, deposit $100, and now we can get started, okay? So let me say that. So you've got to have a brokerage account in order to purchase these stocks. And then you become a stockholder in this company. So I am a stockholder in lots of companies, but AT&T is probably one of my favorite in my portfolio. And don't forget, Mr. Wonderful tells you don't have more than 5% of your net worth or your portfolio worth in one stock. So I do not. So I am sticking to that because Mr. Wonderful, he knows about passive income, especially royalties. So anyway, I said, okay, I am going to buy AT&T. I'm a big user of AT&T. I have AT&T TV. I have AT&T Internet. I've got several phones with AT&T. I am one of their biggest fans. So because of that, and because I started evaluating different stocks in March of last year when I decided to do this, I decided I was going to take that income. When I sold that condo, I paid $82 for it, and I think I sold it for like $189. I took all of that cash and decided I was going to start investing it and building a portfolio. Now with the portfolio that I'm building, I choose to have my investment reinvested. So I'm doing compounding. You can have them, they'll pay you cash or they'll pay you in in stock. I choose mine to be paid in stock. So every quarter when AT&T pays a dividend, I get more shares. I love it because I don't need that money right now to live off of. I'm building a passive income for later on down the road when we want to sell all of our rental properties and allow freedom of time, right? So today I want to show you why I'm doing AT&T, and I'm going to compare it to a rental property and the net income that comes from it so that you can see. So you don't want to miss this. Watch through the very end. I'm going to share that with you because a lot of people ask me, why are you going to, dividend investing rather than just buy more rental property? Because I own real estate offices and I know a lot about real estate. I've been in real estate for a long time. And the reason is because I'm looking for a passive income stream that I don't have to manage. I don't want to manage it. I want it to show up in my bank account. I want mailbox money. So that's what AT&T is providing me. So just to share a few things about AT&T and why I feel good about it. So they had some great results the first quarter of this year. Their consolidated revenues were $43.9 billion. That's up 2.7%. Their diluted EPS of $1.04 compared to $0.63 in the year-ago quarter. Adjusted EPS is 86 cents compared to 84 cents in the year-ago quarter, so that's up 2.4%. Cash from operations is of $9.9 billion, up 12%. Capital expenditures of $4 billion, that's a gross capital investment of $5.7 billion. And free cash flow of $5.9 billion, which is up 51%. Total dividend payout ratio of 63.5%, which, we always, when we're looking, you want to pay attention when you're looking. Look what the company is paying out in dividends and can they manage that? There are a lot of high yield dividend stocks, but the company's paying out 120% of cash flow. So that's a problem, right? So it's important you know these kind of things. Another couple key facts that I think that I want to share with you about AT&T. I've got them, where are they? I've got them written down here. Let me share. So AT&T's 52-week low, and this was right when the pandemic hit, it hit its low of $26.35. The 52-week high is $33.24. So, AT&T has 230,000 employees. I didn't really realize they had that many employees. I want to share with you their CEO, what his strategy is, our strategy at AT&T. We're committed to transforming our business while investing in key growth areas to achieve sustained success and returning value to our shareholders through dividends. That's John Stankey, the CEO of AT&T. So I mean, they pay $2.08 a year per share, so it's about 52 cents a share. And their forward payout ratio is 65.72%. And they are a 37-year dividend aristocrat. So what that means is they have raised their dividend for 37 consecutive years. And coming up, they've got to raise their dividend. So we're waiting to see because they want to keep that status of aristocrat. I can't imagine them not raising it. But you never know what companies are going to do and how they're going to do it. So who knows, right? So I want to share with you some things because I think that I just want to show you in comparison. So I have invested, let me get my numbers here. I have $167,452.29 invested in AT&T. Now I'm up about $13,000, so my portfolio is now worth about $180,000. So I've made about $13,000 since I started investing. I buy about 25 shares a week or 100 shares a month. So you can do the math. The shares are now selling for about $31, I think, and 40 cents, somewhere in that area. My average, so I'm cost averaging by buying every week, by buying just a few shares every week. My cost on my shares is $28.99. And I have 5,775 shares, 0.6380. My goal was I wanted to make $1,000 a month from my dividends. Now, of course, AT&T pays quarterly, so which means I want to make $3,000 a quarter. So I'm going to show you a rent house first. So I have now reached my goal, and I'm super excited, of $3,000 a month. It won't happen, May 3rd, they pay the dividend, and I'm about 600 shares, 500 or 600 shares short that didn't get invested by the ex-dividend date. So all the stocks that pay dividends have an ex-dividend date. You need to purchase your stocks by that date, before that date. And I purchased these later. So I will not be paid this quarter on them because that's when the cutoff date is and when they pay. So I will be paid the next quarter, which is fine. I've been doing this now for a year, so it's pretty cool how it really adds up. So the next time they pay me, when they pay me $3,000, I will get anywhere from, depending on what the share price is, 80 to 90 shares of AT&T as a dividend. So I'm just letting it compound and build up. It's pretty doggone exciting. So just a few more key facts about AT&T. It is the #1 largest communication company in the world by revenue. In 2020, the consolidated revenue was $172 billion, $105 billion capital investment over the last 5 years, $75 billion returned to the shareholders over the last 5 years, which includes dividends and buybacks from 2016 and 2020. So I'm just I'm their biggest cheerleader right now for AT&T, and I see a lot of people doing videos on AT&T, and it's a great stock, you guys. And if you're wanting to start and get into dividend investing, I think it's a perfect place to start. But let me show you some comparison from a rental house. Okay, so let me show you the comparison. All right, so if you bought a rent house for $170,000, let me see if I can get that out of the light there. Okay, if you bought a rent house for $170, and let's say you rented it for $1,500 a month times 12, that is $18,000 a year. Now, I did taxes here in Denton, so I just pulled what the taxes would be on a house for $170,000 a year, and the taxes would be $3,780. That's a write-off, so that would come straight off of that rent of $18,000, because you got to pay your taxes every year. You know, Uncle Sam gonna get his taxes. Insurance would run here in the state of Texas about $1,100, and then I threw in a 15% for miscellaneous expenses. So because you're going to have expenses, okay? You may have a plumbing call. You may have to do the yard, depending on what your lease says. Whatever. There's a great number there, about $2,700. Most properties have about a 10 to 15% expense ratio that you need to apply when you are looking at numbers to build you a rental portfolio. So when I add those expenses up, when I added them all up, that was, and I subtracted them from the $18,000, my net on this rental property is $10,420. So that would give me $10,420 for my family, right? And that is before taxes, meaning my income taxes, and that is before depreciation. So if you don't know much about depreciation, that is the beautiful thing about owning real estate, right? So let me tell you a little about depreciation, because that's another extra write-off. So depreciation, you get to depreciate a residential real estate home by 27.5%. So let's say the value of the home is $170, but let's say the lot is $50 and the value of the actual home is $120,000. So you would take the $120,000 is how you figure depreciation, and you would divide 27.5 into $120,000, and that would give you $4,363.63. So that is another write-off of that $10,000 that you made here. So you would have another write-off of $4,000. So you really would only pay taxes on the $5,000 left, right? $5,000 or $6,000 left. That's what you would pay income taxes on, okay? Now, if you bought AT&T stock and spent $170,000 and you would be getting $1,000 a month, that is net profit. There's no expenses besides taxes. And you would have to pay taxes if it's not in a tax-deferred account, like if it's not in your IRA or 401k or in a SEP. So you would pay taxes on the $12,000, but the $12,000 would be yours if you take the cash benefit. Even if you do reinvestment and go with the compounding and it's not in a tax deferred account, you're going to pay taxes on that. But for me, at this point where I'm in, I don't mind paying capital gain taxes. So, and hopefully, I don't know, it depends on what our president's going to do. He keeps saying that he's going to raise capital gains. We'll see. Every time, we get a new president, we go through this. So we'll see what happens. But still, money is money, folks. However you make it, you're going to pay taxes. So that's part of living in this great country we live in. We get the privilege to pay taxes, right? To have all the things that we have. So I'm just diversifying my portfolio. I have a lot of residential real estate. And when I saw this, that I can make $12,000 with the same 170, and I'm going to net over here $10,420, although I still get the depreciation, but I'm not real worried about depreciation. What my goal is about cash flow. And so that's why I thought, wow, I don't get any plumbing calls, no calls in the middle of the night, I've locked myself out, no roof leaks. I mean, I am moving towards passive income streams through dividend investments. And that's what my channel's showing. I show people how to make money through passive income streams. And that's what Down Home Money's all about. A lot of y'all know I wrote a book, Down Home Money, The Simple Approach to Financial Freedom. You guys, I just recorded the Audible. You can get it on Audible. You can have me in your back seat. Take me with you. Let's go for a ride. You'll love it. I read to you about passive income streams, and I share the different kinds of passive income streams. It's so important that we take control of our future. And don't wait until it's too late. And as far as I'm concerned, it's never too late. Fire yourself today. Go open that brokerage account, follow my channel, be sure and hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll teach you how to do all of this. So I hope you enjoyed today. Just a little comparison. $12,000 for AT&T stock, $170,000, or $170,000 in a house, you would get $10,420, plus you get to minus your depreciation and not pay taxes on that. So it'd be a write-off. It wouldn't be money in your pocket. Are you building passive income streams? Because it is not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, and what are you doing with it? Are you building passive income streams? Even if you have $100, deposit the $100. Let's start buying you a dividend, some dividend stocks that pay you a dividend, have them compound, and buy more stocks each time you get paid the dividend, and we'll build you a portfolio so you can work because you want to work, not because you have to work. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks. See you then.